the market was also down a little bit, about 10.61% to 316.12, but that's still above the daily average of about 250 million ordinary shares on a daily basis. In Naira value, that was also down to 4.22 billion. We did 6 billion on Friday when we went off for the weekend. And in terms of deals, that looks a little bit on track, not significantly different from around the 4,000 total transactions we have on the market in this bullish period. Moving over to the 5 big subsectors we track on a daily basis, we had a single green shoot, 0.25% from the consumer goods space. And yes, then the rest were in red. Banks were down about 0.3%. Industrial goods, 1% and 1/10 in the negative territory. Insurance lost 0.42%. And the oil and gas also down 0.34% on Monday. Look at the NASD, OTC, decided to trade differently from the bigger stock exchange. This is the unlisted securities market. That's the index reading 613.62, about 0.6% to the north. That was a comeback for that market on Monday. And, of course, look at the total volume, 74,600 in 18 transactions. On Friday, it was a very disappointing one single transaction in the NASD OTC market. But there was a comeback on Monday. Everybody seemed to have slept over the state of that market and came back more rejuvenated on Monday. Let's step into the fixed income market, shall we? And where do we start? Treasury bills. Thank you, folks. That's a very interesting trading day. In terms of volume, that was, and transaction value, that's significantly lower than when we finished off on Friday. 62.99 billion on Monday. That was a little bit, the yield was a little bit tepid, about 5 basis points, according to a report from Codros Capital. But the trading data you're looking at there is from FMDQ, OTC Securities Exchange. 233 transactions in total. But in terms of the deals, it wasn't significantly strong. But if you bring that page a little bit back, you can see the 4 most actively traded treasury bills, and you look at the discount high. And that's why I want you to focus on that. The second column, and that tells you where things are moving. That's a 20.10% that the Nigerian government is paying those who are holding those treasury bills, maturing 5th of October. And you can see the next one. Same October, mid-month, 20.05, and the other two maturing early 2018, around 19.8% there. Let's go to the bond market, the Naira bond, and that's a bit of a summary of the 4 most actively traded papers. 3 are a little bit of short to medium term, and we have 1 long dated, 18th March 2036, at a price high 76.75. That's a bit of a bit stronger, 16.47 billion naira. Of course, there was what you call an open market operations yesterday. Treasury bills auction, about 9.39 billion from the central bank. That's to calm things down a little bit, not significantly strong. We'll take a look at what happens today, tomorrow. Let's look at the FX very quickly. The Naira dollar, a bit of a very positive day for the Naira across some of the markets and a few of the currencies. That's the central bank reference, spot OTC. That's sitting largely unchanged. The interbank, what you call the NAFEX, that's the autonomous foreign exchange market. You can see the Naira dollar down about 0.2, but gained on the pound and the euro. On the street, the Naira was down 0.27 on the dollar, but gained on the pound 0.2%. At the FMDQ investors and exporters window, the Naira gained a massive 0.63% to finish 362.50. So I'm taking a quick look at the markets on Monday. There's a bit of a look back and a look forward. Rotimi Fakaija from Enterprise, stockbrokers, bright and early on the program. Good morning, Rotimi. Thanks for coming through.
Good morning, Paul.
Yes. Any idea, do you think yesterday's trading in the negative was just about profit taking or something else? So is there something in the news? Is there something in the earnings or general investor sentiment that dragged the market into the red territory?
Well, I think we saw a downward trend in the banking sector stocks yesterday. And I think this has so much to do with the further interpretation of the result of Zenith Bank. A lot of operators actually saw it on your screen that about 30% of the provisioning that Zenith Bank did was for the former Etisalat 9 mobile deal. And for that reason, investors, operators alike started thinking whether this is definitely going to affect the other banks that are still pending. So there was a lot of anxiety and attention concerning the banking sector stock. And it was precipitated further by the final loss in the share price of Dangote Cement. So I believe all this put together. But one thing that is very key now is that this will not be put to rest until we see another of the banking sector financial report for the half year. That is either of the 3 remaining. And at that time, we may be able to see a respite in the downward trend in the market.
Yes, you see, you get a better view of the market because you trade. Yesterday, Zenith was down 1.05% as that news came out that, from news agency Reuters, to be precise, said they had a phone conversation. Of course, the managing director of Zenith Bank says they're doing that provisioning. Of course, some estimates. When the Etisalat Nigeria 9 mobile story came out that the Zenith Bank was the largest contributor to this non-performing as at that time, loan in a contentious loan, let's put it that way, in 9 mobile, about 80 billion naira. That's quite heavy. Then you have other lenders who are also in this very boat. So you think this will likely continue today? A quick one?
It's not unlikely because I believe there should be quick clarification from the other ones, at least for us to be able to have the confidence that these things are not really readily going to affect their books. But we still need those results to come as soon as possible. So we are praying that the CBN will quickly listen to these voices and release the results as soon as possible. So at least everybody can be addressed and be able to make other decisions concerning this stuff.
Okay, we're going to put that behind us. Thank you very much, Bryce and Nelly. Rotimi Fakaija from Enterprise Stockbrokers. We're talking about the world of oil when we come back after the break.